Good. Okay. God. So first of all, I'll talk to at large America because I know you can't go out of that narrative because you would have to have a reason to trust out of that narrative, and I understand. Corinne, my girl at the White House, your response to the cocaine thing. Yep. I haven't got to watch what you actually said because I was busy trying to connect with my local FBI in Minneapolis about the human trafficking reporting. Met a fourth branch from the Merida Yucatan native slaughter after 1900. My grandmother and Merida Gillette Crown home. So one of my cousins met her, was like, hey, um, no. So like she's not your property and I'm not anybody's property either. And and so I was just watching your face while I was painfully working myself through the FBI website and in a shitty, dirty Starbucks, which I love because it was downtown Duluth and it's fucking shitty, dirty. There's no bathroom, but the latte was awesome and I got a free shot of espresso. So thank you to that Starbucks location here in the city I live in, the city of the preempted war, the captain's war, 1745 to 1765. Let me take this phone call. It's about attempted assault in the break room. Hello, my phone is charged, so now I can actually speak to you, officer, it's charging. Who is this? Oh, Hussey. Okay, so what was your finding? Because you didn't leave a voicemail. And policy usually in our city is that you would leave a voicemail for the victim. Oh, did you have a question for me? Yeah, and I had to leave the scenario, right? Because I was being threatened. I was just there charging my phone and having a Coca-Cola. Yeah, you guys need your own app. You know what I mean? Okay, so what's the question you have at the moment? Just what happened? Okay. Okay, yeah, so it's so basic. That's why it's so infuriating to repeat it multiple times to different people, especially while your phone is dying and you're already in danger. Um, and so you can talk to Peterson about that. And then my report, um, you guys still have it from 2016. So what happened was I needed to charge my phone, on my way back to where I'm staying while I'm, still getting to safety after being attacked and trafficked and I had been I sent documentation to Peterson, um, and so an organization out of Houston called RescueAmerica.ngo had just sent me to Oregon for rescue. You can look at that, and then you guys can talk to me later about that. But so I'm at a local shelter rebuilding, and then just needing my phone charged for safety, right? So I stopped at the break room. This would have been now like an hour ago, and maybe an hour and a half. And so I'm just having Coca-Cola, charging my phone. I was talking to a mom who has a son actively deployed. Awesome conversation. I came in, I talked to somebody who named Marcus. Awesome conversation. Having a Coca-Cola and a lime, and then later I talked to the party in accusation, um, who committed a crime against me. It was just part of that party, though. And God, it was Jeff or Dylan. I'm sorry. One of them's innocent, one of them's guilty, because um, they were talking to me, and we were talking about like cannabis being recreationally legal for the one who was actually grew up here. We were like, because it's a good medicine for some kids who grew up with a lot of stress, having that sort of commonality. And then the other party, the kid in the board shorts, the sweatshirt, and the hat, the blonde hair, um, he was like, I'm from here. I went to college here, and I got a degree from UMD in economics. And then I kept kind of like how we have this hard humor here, like chiding at him and then complimenting his friend. And then eventually, and he was very wasted and on some kind of opioid, is what the reality was. Because then he got offended and told me that I should, this is quote, lick some girl's pussy, get slapped in the face by my boyfriend's dick, and then he actually said, I'm going to hit you in the face. And then his friend was like, what? And then I did tell the bartender, and I went away, and the bartender was like, just don't talk to him anymore. And I was like, good deal. That was really weird. And then I still had to charge my phone enough to be safe to walk home. And then so I stayed just like 20 minutes, half an hour later. I actually thought he had left. And then I went to leave, walking to the bathroom. He came up to me again, and then I decided to report it. When he came up to me again, he just wanted to walk up to me. Oh, he didn't say anything. Okay, thank you. Did you talk to the bartender? Okay, because the bartender knows what his actual name was. I didn't. Yeah. Sorry, what? Well, I'm constantly threatened. Like, so earlier with Peterson, this is what I was telling him. Was that Ian or you who said you talked to Peterson before switching? It would have been Ian, right? So, yeah. And so I'm saying, because earlier with dispatch, I'm like, I tried to call Houston PD because I actually did Dan Crenshaw's whistleblower form, because the organization that literally just sex trafficked me and robbed me and sent me to a more dangerous place in Oregon is based out of Houston, his district, right? He has a forum on his website, literally for fucking anything. And so mainly this because he actively covers human sex trafficking in the Senate. And so his office, I spoke to his Kingwood office today. They were like, you need to call Houston PD. Only when I went to Google Houston PD, the line had nobody attached to it. And then there was no like leave a message. And I was, walking. I'm not going to do email while I'm walking. And so I was like, okay, well, when I first reported the gang that sex trafficked me and tortured me, infancy throughout my life, they were able to actually just attach me for the teenage one to Gary, Indiana. So I was like, oh, let me call dispatch and just see if they can connect me to Houston dispatch. That it was atrocious the way dispatch was acting, and they actually admitted that human trafficking, one of them did, that was not a priority of Duluth PD. She said that, and and so that's why I eventually had to talk to Peterson, and then I just sent him the like, hey, these are the emails from those organizations, and it is in your guys' jurisdiction because it's the 1994 Mann Act. It's a federal law. You if somebody is being sex trafficked out of your city, that is your jurisdiction. So QC, I guess, am I saying that right? QC? How, how do you spell it? Hussey. Well, that'd be hard to pronounce. Anyway, for me, because I have an accent and yeah. Anyway, um, what are you guys doing about the? So I know because I was supposed to meet with Gonerman, but I was attacked. Tried to move to a safer city. What are you guys doing about the human trafficking in particular right now? The sex trafficking, not just sex crimes, but the human sex trafficking from local gangs. What are you guys doing? But that's not an, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you even feel that's not a sufficient answer. I guess, can I get from you then, what do you think you should do? Because you have a federal law. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you include a federal law for something that would be a federal issue, right? That's something that, oh, they were in your city one day, now they're not in your city. So you would think that you would adapt to that reality. But you're not saying an answer that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so what are you doing as far as that federal law? Is that something you even get made aware of as an officer? The 1994 Mann Act, Okay. Do you see though that, because we're a big city and a small city at the same time, and I had that correct. You are new to the force, right? Because I've been talking to Duluth PD since 2016 pretty consistently. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, sure. Okay, well, look at the emails from Peterson, okay? All right, appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, Hugh, see, that was better. He said for the local human sex trafficking from various gangs that they are doing the best they can. At a patrol level, he is not made aware of the 1994 Mann Act, um, and he's new, and he's trying to learn from me. So that went much better. Um, yeah, no, man, imagine having gotten away with something in your career, like you're a police officer. Imagine it. You, your children think you're this ethical figure that protects the city, yet you've been an evil, degenerate person, and one of the victims has come forward and said, "Oh, I recognize you, Mattinson, Officer Mattinson. He was the one who took my report, and I recognize him from childhood." And gosh, I can't imagine how many others I'll recognize, and so will other women. And so, and here's the thing: you're complicit unless you separate yourself, because you don't have the right to ignore federal law at a local level. You don't have that right. That's not a protection, and you get more guilty the longer you let this shit go. Um, so yeah, learn, please learn. Anyway, I'll send this video to Briggs, and then get you some ordered documentation for other sources that you can check, like what I sent Peterson earlier today, rescueamerica.ngo to Houston, just trafficked me to Hillsboro, Oregon. Veterans for Child Rescue had me re-trafficked for information. And that's Mr. Craig, the Sawman Sawyer. You're going to prison and all your property's mine. What a sad story. I think it's something like he raped his stepdaughter or like had her raped. I don't know the story. It's something like that. Rebecca, I think her name is. Something like that. Who knows? So, yeah, something in that realm of that reality. And my phone is charging, so it only took a few hours to get to that place. And then I just have to be back where I'm staying in half an hour. So back to warfare coverage. CNN did a real good one. Good job, Zelensky. Zelensky, you're my favorite CNN reporter, bar none, bar none. And I met Kelly at the break room. She's a mom, awesome mom. Um, and then there was a man there who also didn't know how war worked, technology, or really anything, and it was so funny. The context was this. Let's say. Ah. Uh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so this is a different article. I won't be able to quote what the context was. Oh, this is what the old man at the bar who didn't know what warfare was saying. Okay, so this is what he was saying in a nutshell. A cluster munition, also called a cluster bomb, are canisters that carry tens to hundreds of smaller bomblets known as submunitions. So we're sending cluster munitions. The article said something else. Let me do it from my phone. Because I will do my news channel. Fuck you people so much. What you do being the most powerful country, the most powerful people in all of world history, you live your life as if you're planning a defense for your children. Most adults, most people with kids, you've planned nothing. Or worse, you've planned enslavement. You've planned communism by union affiliation. Okay, well, you get what you pay for, and your bargain is worth fucking nothing. It's worth actually negative. So it's like, ooh, let's love slavery. Weird choice for your grandkids and children, everybody. Weird choice. I wonder what motivated it. What wall would you rather be trapped behind? You know what I mean? I'm fine. I'm in a location charging my phone. and the doors open. I'm not trapped in this establishment. There we go. The context was I said, hey sir, excuse me. Excuse me, old man who should know the answer to this question. Excuse me. What's your opinion, old man? The U.S. will send cluster munitions to Ukraine for the first time as a part of a new military aid package because you broke. Announced Friday. I ad-libbed. CNN didn't say that. This is CNN, by the way. The U.S. will send cluster munitions to Ukraine for the first time. I'll read the Turkish article after. Stop hacking into my phone. Announced Friday, today. The White House acknowledged the risk to civilians in using controversial weaponry, but said there's an even greater threat if Kiev doesn't have sufficient ammunition against Russia. Do you know why? But we're here to help. That's how I analyze the culture of this specific some of them. Others are gonna honestly, Zelensky. Okay, I have a new one for you, bud. Just build a tunnel. No, love. Just build an above ground tunnel. Let CNN have cameras live. You know what I mean? And just say, okay, what are you bordering? One second. As I'm giving my grander opinion. I know, Zelensky, you already know what I'm going for. I know you do. Hold on, though. I would hate to be wrong. I would hate to, as Dan Crenshaw helped teach me, I would hate to deny my strategic partner a lesser quality of defense. Right? Especially because I watched a fucking girl who gave birth when she was like 7 walk her 5-year-old into Ukraine. So yeah, just 1 second. All right. So Zelensky, your tunnel. I'm gonna have it go through Romania. You gotta have. You see that kind of that grace there, that Orthodox Christianity grace. So you're gonna have your tunnel. You said, oh gosh, I mean, we could use these cluster munitions, or you could take this tunnel. Checkmate. So sad. I feel your pain, but I appreciate you being a real leader in the time of warfare. I don't know too much about you, but I can see in your genetic and where you live a bit of your likely ancestry. And I say, this Turkish Jew who's English and American probably before, and then they moved back away. And okay, the guy just was like trying to explain to me what it was. I'm like, no. Your opinion of the action in warfare. Also, I will admit, I did think cluster munition. Oh, our munitions are going to be a variable that can't be predictive. I didn't know that they literally just meant a cluster bomb. So that's what he was saying. He could have just said, though, a cluster munition is a cluster bomb. but he was trying to act like that was a good move. Oh no, we'll have to innovate. All right, moving on. What were they telling you all today? That's a lie. Let me go through it. All right, we'll hit Fox next. Yeah. They just still have a weird thing with Bud Light. I don't, again, and I've said it till I was blue in the face. It's a trashy Audrey Hepburn. It's weird nobody else got that. That's a basic American history from 1940. Trashy Audrey Hepburn, you guys. Because she did, Dylan Mulvaney did a classy Madam Kai Cheng check. And if you didn't get that, that's also a basic 1947 American history. So moving on. I didn't get to eat dinner because of this nonsense. So I will return to eat protein. Okay, so there's an article again. Miss Corrine, just love her response to the cocaine thing. Legalize pure cocaine because the Nazis invented meth, and that should be the thing that we get away. That's the weapon. Get it out of here. Easy solution there, and also ridiculous. Who the fuck cares? Pure cocaine is awesome. It helps people work. It's not the meth the Nazis invented. End of the debate. All right, moving forward. A video this is Fox News. Video emerges of Britney Spears slapping incident with NBA star security. Apparently, she got slapped. I'm not going to waste time on that. It was, and then okay. Oh, TMZ. I love TMZ. Okay, I'll have to watch the video. It's saying that TMZ said that it appeared to show her hitting herself after her hand was pushed off of him. So she was touching him. Okay, click here for video if you're on the app. Okay, so they don't actually have the app. Yeah. Oh, he's like a young kid. Yeah. Okay. Sad story because she was enslaved by her dad. Weird. Anyway, I don't care about talking about that. Let's just see what else. Something about human trafficking. That's cool. Hardly. This weird political stuff that's not based in reality or history. I will say, so Kamala had some cool stuff to say about culture. Michelle Obama's Netflix special is good. Still have work to do, lady. It's not making grilled cheeses at midnight. Well, I mean, it's not just making grilled cheeses at midnight. Okay. Oh, Yeah, nothing about war, so we'll go to Epoch Times. I like, okay, I love being proved wrong. And so CNN, Aaron Burnett, your Zelensky interview, watched part of it. Still have to watch the whole thing. Awesome. Super awesome. It was really good. So, oh my God, Fox News. Still no coverage of Russia and Cuba. The BBC did it. We'll do them next. 1 second. Fucking hate this. Alright, we'll end it there. I did talk to my brother today. My dad said he thinks he was being sarcastic about saying 12-year-olds can consent to sex. He doesn't. So he almost died in third grade, and I don't think he remembers what I remember. And I don't think his brain works at all like mine because he was in a coma for 3 days. And he won't answer me. And but it was nice because he fired everybody at his business, and I was like, Aaron, and for the comedy of where we live, it's the right thing to do. I was like, Aaron, you need to hire a bunch of like local black guys, like former gang bangers and like militia men. Gang bangers could be rude and inaccurate, actually. We had like the best crypt population in the country, as far as I know, my entire life. So, Casanova O'Neill, former crypt member, you're still like one of my best friends. I love you. As friends. I really do hope to see you again. Please be around here. Anyway, God, he's hot. Anyway, that when I think of having like a half black child, my spine lights on fire. So like, I can't do that right now because the thought of it, I won't speak to it anymore. Anyway, it was an important time in my life. It was over a decade ago. I'm glad to have met you and spent time with you. And Casanova O'Neill. Anyway, okay. Yeah, no, let's just go to the BBC because they're gonna. The funny thing is, so I'm like, no, 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 send all the planes. We don't need those planes. We need new planes. Send our strategic partner. Go to those planes. It's just funny that, oh, because they don't have the plastic. Okay. Because I'm like, I was telling the guy because he thought I was laughing at him at the bar. The one who I was asking to comment on the cluster munitions just exited out of the tab. I was like, no, the funny thing is that Ukraine is going to get your bombs, dismantle them, and make a more usable weapon like they did a year ago. Did you not watch the actual footage? And he was like, no, I scroll on my app. And that's the truth, because when I'm on my app and I scroll, that's what the truth is. Okay, right. You have kids, that's so sad. Do they need to be rescued by Russia? Okay, so we'll end on the BBC because they did cover Russia and Cuba. Whew. Alvin, Winston, call me when you get my message. It was so weird how your number wasn't there and it said 24/7, and then still haven't had anybody call me back from Minneapolis. It's been over a year. and the FBI got my report in 2020 for Veterans for Child Rescue. I'm exiting out of tabs. I'll comment. No, okay. So now that strategy makes more sense. Is some people will get a cluster bomb. Maybe that has a magnet in it but you don't know the magnet. Which one has a magnet? Let's see which one. Is there a magnet? But also, nothing we do is more clever because Russia invented the modern periodic table. The physical chemistry came with your ability to utilize metals. America hasn't had a metals and gases and silicates and other compounds materials. And America hasn't had a metals guild since 1893 because you wanted to fuck children from Europe and have a textile industry, and then you wanted to keep fucking kids. It was a really weird choice that the electors and common culture made at the time and still make today. It's a real weird choice. So, by the way, Heather Lynn, I don't know why you had a black eye. I saw your clip on YouTube the other day. I hope you hit yourself in the face, and if somebody hit you in the face, I'm going to unzip them from the back, turn them inside out, and then tie them around a hog because I would want some pork and do like a Hawaiian fire. Just saying. Unless, you didn't need that level of response. And if it was a woman, I wouldn't do that because I would want to know more context. And also, I know you're gnarly because you're super Scottish, Latin, English, and you're just like a can of gnar. And so, yeah, and you look great. So I'm sorry, but also I appreciate you a lot. Sorry, I know it's too much. I know my love is. Well, there's no women like you, so it's not individualized. It's more ugh, one of the revolutionaries. Put her in a. She can't. Sorry. Okay, BBC. Also, I'm sure you're a little cunt and a bitch too, so don't take the compliment seriously. Too seriously. Anyway, so Heather Lynn's Black Rifle Coffee Company, soon to have Black Rifle Coffee Railway all the way to China, in fact. Okay. So we'll end it here. Search bar, BBC, Russia, Cuba. They're doing that stuff too. 1 second. BBC, you suck. Okay, so it doesn't come up in their search bar, so I'm not gonna waste any more time. By the way, my Clear Hot Podcast t-shirt was the only t-shirt I had readily available today. So I know you did an episode, Andy, stuff about not putting people on a pedestal. Darling, you're in the middle of a moat, and there's like so many creatures in that moat, and it's a good thing you're good at fishing. I'm sorry to call you darling. Okay. Oh my God, Andy, there's an article about Nelson in my local news on WDIO. Nelson, the officer from your locale, who I tried to talk to when license plate number CR734 White Ford Runner tried to murder me coming from Lake County up into Kalispell as I was escaping Hillsboro, Oregon, like a month ago. I still haven't got a hold of Bartholomew. This is how I feel like him. Like I feel like that's why I'm like Bartholomew. You should come here to Duluth, Minnesota, and do your job here. But I don't even want to explain what I meant to while I was there. I will in due time if I live. Because people try to murder me. I'm not at all suicidal. Okay. Okay. So for me, the craziest story was a Babbitt man um, was hiding from the police and died in a freezer that locked from the inside out. My part from that article is there's freezers that lock from the inside out. Let's see that. Let's see that film. Let's get that Paramount film. The invention of the freezer that locks from the inside out. All right. Love you all, my local, national, and international viewers. I'm going to go eat food. Wait, I'm going to go eat food. It's like, don't say where you are. There's no privacy, and I'm safer actually staying where I am. Fuck.